Good morning. My name is Tanya Whitlock. I have 4 children currently in the Hillsborough County School District. I am here because I am very, very concerned with the decisions that are being made for our students in the ESC population. And I feel it's very important that the parents who are actually within the system and who have children that are dealing in the system speak out about the current things that are going on. I'm going to kind of start with going over some laws that I'm very sure that most of you here know. But because of the recent changes to the ESC and busing children from their neighborhood schools and the desegregation of children in the school district, I felt like it was pertinent to kind of give us all a refresher of some of these laws. The first one I'm going to start with is Brown versus Board of Education. I'm sure, again, we're all familiar with it. The United States Supreme Court declared state laws establishing separate public schools for students based on race unconstitutional. The court's unanimous decision stated that separate educational facilities are inherently unequal. Again, separate educational facilities are inherently unequal. The Rehabilitation Act of 1973, Section 504, extends civil rights to individuals with disabilities and allows accommodations so that they may fully participate in school, employment, and other settings that receive federal funding. Section 504 guarantees all students the right to free public education, regardless of the disability. Schools must afford students with disabilities with equal opportunities to obtain the same result, to gain the same benefit, to reach the same level of achievement as students without disabilities. I want to stop there for a second. This is my son Trace, and he's going to be talking to you guys in a minute. We're not from here. We were blessed to be able to live in different states, and I'm so grateful that Trace was allowed inclusion in the states that he lived in through his elementary years. I can't imagine at 5 years old stifling him into a classroom and saying that that I don't believe in your potential, that I don't believe in your growth. And basically, when you're placing a child in an ESC placement, that's what you're saying. Because we all know that the standards are drastically different in an ESC setting than they are in the typical classroom setting. Trace went through his elementary school through 5th grade, and he did amazing. He was on the honor roll. He loved to be a part of the community and the kids that were in his classes. But the amazing thing was it wasn't about just Trace. His teachers every year would tell me, the students are amazing with Trace. He's making an impact on them. He made an impact on them as much as they made an impact on Trace. Trace grew up with wanting the same kind of goals. He wanted to be on the honor roll. He wanted to make A's. He didn't see himself as a child with a disability because we didn't allow it to happen. If we would have placed him in an ESC classroom, that's exactly what we have been doing. You have a disability, we're going to confine you, and we're not going to allow you to grow. In 1975, Congress enacted the Education for All Handicapped Children Act. Later, as we all know, renamed the Individuals with Disability Education Act, IDEA. It states that children with disabilities must be educated in the least restrictive environment. And I know that phrase has become very subjective with many people. But if you go on to read, it states that children with disabilities need the maximum extent, and to the maximum extent educated with children who are not disabled. This placement must be as close as possible to the child's home and in a school that he or she would attend if non-disabled. I'd really like to stop and ask the school board, are you really actually telling us that you are trying to educate our children and follow these guidelines to the maximum extent possible? I would have to question that it's even being done at the minimum extent possible, because we're transporting them away from their neighborhood schools. We're placing them in classrooms where their only education is the same, their standards of education is the same across the board. Was that best to tell me I'm almost done? 30 seconds. Okay. So quickly, I just want to say, if we were to go back to the 1960s and we would talk to those people, those leaders who were vehemently against desegregation, we would hear the conviction in their voices of them stating why they believed their decisions and what they were doing to those children were just. just as I believe that some of you and some of the board members who have spoken believe that their decisions are just. But I fear that the Hillsborough County School Board is standing on the wrong side of history. Thank you.